Hey everyone, it's Katie and Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hi everybody.
It's been a long time, and the light's on now. It's been a long time. So if you haven't been checking out my Twitter, even though even then you might have missed it, back in July, our car got hit while it was parked on the street. And because of a bunch of complications involving insurance and a lot of other things, we have not had a car. And because of that, we haven't been going to a lot of movies.
We haven't been to any movies since July.
Yeah, we haven't been to any movies since July. And obviously with our shtick of this project the way it is, it just felt weird to be going to movies and not driving home. Even though we have done once in the past, but we just also haven't been going to a lot of movies. We're finally at the point where we're about to get the car fixed. It's finally getting settled, but that's next week. And this week, Thor Ragnarok came out. So we went, okay, basically our plan was just, we'll take the train to the movie, we will watch this movie for the first time seeing a movie in theaters since the summer, and we're gonna then come back and just sit in the car. So this is what we're doing for this one. We are sitting in our car, and we're
already home.
We're already home. It's been a while since the movie got out. But we're going to talk about this because, dang it, it's a Marvel movie, and we go to see those, and we like talking about them. So this is us getting back into the swing of things with this dang project, and this is driving home the movie, Thor Ragnarok. I will never have that song on my head now. Right?
It's implanted there.
It is implanted in my brain now. So that's what happened to me tonight. So no, this was a solid movie. It's I'll say, and I say that, and I'm about to say something else about it, but like the pacing is a little off, but I had so much fun with it. It does a lot of things well. It's not, like I said, it's not perfect, but the things it does right, and the ways it pulls things, like really good things from the comics, and how funny it was, but in a way that, like, when we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I said, like, it was funny, but there were parts of it that really bugged me, and this, like, all the humor, none of it bothered me in the same way that Guardians 2 did. So that made me really happy. I don't know where else to start besides that. Do you want to say some stuff first?
It was a great movie. It's just a great movie. It's a great action movie.
Yeah.
It was a lot of great comedy that's coming from a director, right?
Yeah, it is, let me see if I can pull it up. It's from, I'm going to mispronounce it, I'm so sorry, Taika Waititi, who we best know as the guy from What We Do in the Shadows, which is an amazing kind of comedy horror movie about vampires, having a documentary done about them. It's so adorable. It's so funny. I would highly recommend it. I believe I was telling people yesterday that they should definitely be watching that movie if they like Thor Ragnarok, and someone told me I think it's on Amazon Prime right now. So like if you have that, definitely watch it. Sorry, I'm now trying to scroll down just to see. Oh! Alright, that is amazing. That's so great.
Wait, Sam Neill.
Okay, so no, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in the spoilers. So
Let's get to spoilers pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think we can get to spoilers.
We're just gonna... So Thor has been off-world, has been like roaming the galaxies since Age of Ultron, because he has this terrible... Well, he has this terrible dream he keeps having about Asgard being engulfed in fire, and so when we see him, he's in this demon's lair, the demon searcher, who was played by Clancy Brown. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, that's Lex Luthor's voice. Clancy Brown voiced this demon, and Thor tells him, like, you know, you're in the dream, like, destroying everything. He's like, yes, because I want to bring about Ragnarok. And so the opening battle is Thor kicking ass with his hammer while a certain Led Zeppelin song plays. You know, just, I don't know, just any, you can take your pick, just one of them. Nothing to do with my intro. And then he does get back to Asgard, but he uncovers Loki's scheme from the second Thor movie. But then from there, everything starts to go wrong. Hela, their sister, who is the goddess of death, shows up, and in trying to stop Hela from getting to Asgard, Thor gets knocked off course and gets into this kind of other dimensional city where he's pretty quickly taken captive, and then he has to fight in this gladiatorial ring, and another person from his life as an Avenger shows up. If you've seen the trailers, you know exactly what it is. And then they and Valkyrie, who right now is working as a bounty hunter, have to then get out of the city in order to stop Hela. And that's basically the core of the movie without giving away too much. The movie's so funny. Chris Hemsworth is at his funniest in this movie. He has such good comedic timing, and clearly this is a director who knows exactly how to get those beats right. Everybody seems to just be having a blast. I can't recommend enough just how much this movie does right in terms of that. The best part for me, even though Cate Blanchett she's kind of underused, but I think she's intimidating in a way that works well enough. And she clearly is having so much fun being this, like, evil woman. But really, like, the star of the movie and, like, the VIP of the movie goes to Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. She is my favorite now. I had people the last few days get out of this movie and immediately go, yeah, Tessa Thompson is the best thing in this movie. She's so good. She gets to be really flawed. She gets to be kind of a jerk in parts, in a way that you don't get to see a lot of female characters get to be. She kind of breaks up a lot of the tropes that Marvel sets up for their female characters. And I really like... There was a hint in some of the news when she was announced that, like, this was going to be Thor's new love interest. Because they weren't going to bring back Jane, which I'm always going to be disappointed about. I think I told Mike while we were walking to the train that I was disappointed that they weren't going to bring back Jane, or that they had no plans to in the future, because I think that the character's really interesting, and then was really underutilized. And then so people are like, oh, the character's bad. I'm like, no, the character wasn't bad. The writing around the character was often bad. That's not the same thing. And when it's all dudes, and then suddenly they're like, oh, the female love interest is bad. It's like, no. The writing of that part of the movie was bad. Like, you gotta know the difference. Anyway, it was nice to see, Tessa Thompson get to play this character who is awesome, but also not perfect, and has a personality and has edges to her. Like, it was, and also has an arc. Like, she has one of the most complete arcs in the movie in a really good way. Yeah,
she sort of, like, has her fall and then builds herself back up and then gets her
redemption.
When
we see her, she's a person who's lost all of her hope and kind of all of her morals too. Like, she's shut away a lot of a lot of what made her a hero in her previous life as a Valkyrie. And then it's only when she's forced to confront her memories of that she decides that she can't stop blocking them out, and she becomes a mighty warrior again. But in the meantime, she's really funny, and she gets to be like her opening scene is amazing. I was so happy to see that. So yeah, the Loki Thor stuff, like their back and forth that we got to see in 2 a little bit, really gets into play here in a way that's fun and feels like a continuation. Like they have that momentum from those other movies, and this third movie does a really good job of utilizing what they've already built up. I don't know if you've seen the trailers, you know Hulk is in this, and that's
the strongest one there is.
Hulk is strongest one there is. So we get to see both Hulk as Hulk and Hulk as Bruce Banner. Both of them it's really fun.
They also have given Hulk and Banner this thing that they're going on right now, and I think I've heard that this is a Hulk story that's going to get played out over the course of the Avengers movies. Yeah, apparently that's going to happen. Let me think. So, besides that... let's get into spoilers.
Yeah, I will say one more thing. The other really charming new character in this is Korg, who was actually played, and I kind of knew this going into it, was played by Taika Waititi.
Yeah, who's the director.
So he got to be this, like, kind of charming rock guy who is also one of the gladiators in the ring.
He usually gives himself a small role in his films, though, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, he was one of the main characters in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
So, but it was really charming. And then I'm double checking if there's anyone else I want to shout out to before I get into spoilers with some of the things. Oh, I should say also... if you're a fan of if you're a comic book person and you're a fan of, sorry, I'm trying to find it. Oh, of Scourge, the Executioner. I thought that it was done well, but I do know that, like, in the comics, he has a very emotional, ending to his story. And in this, it's alluded to, it's kind of homage, but it's not necessarily the exact same from what I can tell. So, you know, if you're going into this saying like, oh, Scourge, like that's a really emotional, like, character arc, it's there, but it's not quite where I think it was, from what I've heard, it's not quite the same. But I think you're still going to really enjoy his, like, he has some of the smaller moments, and he does some interesting stuff with it. So I thought that was good. Do you just want to get into spoilers then?
Yeah, let's get into spoilers.
All right, so ready? Spoilers. So what do you want to spoil first?
I think it's really, really fun to have a play about Thor 2.
Yeah. So when Thor gets home to Asgard, after like the first scene or so, he goes to try to find his father, and his father's watching this play, and it's of Loki's seemingly death in Thor 2. And here are the people who played the different actors in this thing. So it's actor Thor is Luke Hemsworth, the lesser of the Hemsworths. Actor Odin is Sam Neill, because apparently they were trying to get all of the Jurassic Park actors in this. I'm really, really sad that what's her face isn't in it. Charlotte Nickdow was Sif, and I think the joke was that she leaves like halfway through that, like the play scene, and I think that might be a joke on the fact that she just doesn't show up in this movie, which, by the way, is still one of the things that bugs me about or of this movie, because Sif doesn't show up. By the way, again, we're getting into spoilers, so I warned you. The Warriors 3 all die in this. 2 of them die fairly unceremoniously. Hogun gets to have a warrior's death. The other 2 just get flat out murdered. And I'm honestly kind of shocked that they didn't just... Yeah, okay, I will get to that. But I just want to say, I'm honestly kind of shocked they didn't just have the Warriors 3 all face her at the same time. It's kind of shitty that they're like, hey, who are you? And then they immediately get stabbed.
Yeah.
That's kind of a horrible way for really specific characters to go. I will say the fact that they gave the one the actor of color of the 3 of them the most screen time and again a really significant death. That's good, but it just seems really weird. And then again, Sif isn't in it at all, and I'm just kind of like, did y'all forget that she wasn't okay? All right.
They obviously didn't forget because they had her in the play. Exactly.
You think that there would be some I would really like it if there was at least some reference to her, going off, being if Loki had put her on a quest or something.
Here's the thing. I think the easy way around this was that Loki sent Sif with Odin.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe Loki sent Sif to look out to go find Odin.
Yeah, maybe.
Sif figured it out, and so Loki sent...
So, and then I should say, and then Matt Damon played Loki.
I don't know.
Which was, sorry, anyway. But yeah, Matt Damon played Loki in this little play. So that was pretty entertaining. It was also kind of fun to see, because this will be the last, unless he comes back in flashbacks, which he very well might. This is Anthony Hopkins' last movie as an alive Odin, because Odin dies in the middle of this. But it was really nice to see him as Loki, pretending to be him, being just loungy and mouthing the lines along with the actors. And there's also a really great part in that scene where it's don't blame yourself. Think of all the wonderful times we had together. Remember when I turned, or I'm sorry about all the times. When I turned you into a frog. And I went, Throg! They brought Throg in. That's amazing. They referenced Throg. Cause see, Mike, I don't know if you know this, but at one point in the comics, Thor turns into a frog, and his name's Throg, and it's great.
And also, there's Cat Thor.
Yeah, they didn't bring up Cat Thor, but obviously that's going to be when Loki shows up in the Squirrel Girls TV show. That has to happen. It has to happen.
No way you can't get around Cat Thor.
Yep. Anyway, so that scene was great, but we didn't even talk before the spoilers about Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, as just this horrible person. That was really fun. The stuff with Thor and Hulk commiserating was really fun. I really, really liked the fact that Valkyrie and Hulk are friends. When I saw that they were friends together, and then when
they're workout buddies.
They were workout buddies, and she came by to see him, and then she's like, "Oh, Thor's here. I don't want to see Thor anywhere."
That guy.
That guy. So there's really good stuff with that. And then Banner, the whole thing when Bruce comes back to himself, and Mark Ruffalo's just bafflement at basically losing 2 years of his life and then being on an alien planet and not knowing what to do, and there's a lot of interesting stuff there. I'm trying to think there's anything else that's super huge. Well, the biggest thing is that the ending, because the whole time I was thinking okay, so Hela coming back is Ragnarok? Is that what they're saying? Because they haven't really mentioned Ragnarok a lot since. It's just this vague idea that something bad's going to happen. And it turns out that it's not Hela coming back, it's Thor choosing to let Ragnarok happen, so that Hela can be destroyed, but it will mean also the the realm of Asgard is also destroyed. But at that point, they're already evacuating all the people anyway. So because Hela was gonna kill them all. So they end up bringing back Clancy Brown's character, which is great. And yeah, there's like, it's interesting because similarly actually to Iron Man 3, I think it's a little more effective here because it's like, it's not just robot suits, but literally like an entire plane of existence. But with Asgard being destroyed, a lot of it is about recognizing that the people are more important than the place, that the old way of doing things is not necessarily right. You know, that it's not about the walls or the land. It's about the people, his people that he needs to protect. So it does feel like a strong, when he does take that throne, because he's the only one who can do it. It feels, I will say, there's an interesting way in which it doesn't feel like a cop-out that he's finally king, because it's not about him in the gold halls and everything. It's about him trying to be a true leader. You know?
Mm-hmm. A leader in a spaceship.
A leader in a spaceship. And they're like, I guess we're going back to Earth. I'm like, yes, because if there's anything Earth's known for, it's about not being assholes for taking in refugees. I'm sure this is gonna go great. Great. And also, it's highly implied that Loki takes it's not the Infinity Cube. It's
Cosmic Cube, or the
what do they call it? The Tesseract.
Tesseract, yeah. It's also isn't it the Power Gem?
I forget. They kind of fudged which gems are which. But so it's pretty much set in stone.
Technically, also
pun intended. That Loki took it before Asgard gets destroyed.
Also, after Thor 2, wasn't the red one in Asgard 2? Or no. After Thor 2, the red gem, when, like, they didn't want to keep two in one place, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And they gave it to the Collector, right? That's what happened?
Yeah, they did. So that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, sorry to think about.
No, you remembered it more than I did, because I forgot that he was in that movie.
Yeah, the red gem went to the Collector.
Yeah. So so the ending, one of the credit scenes has, Thor and Loki about like heading off towards Earth, and Loki being like, "You sure that they're gonna be okay with me coming?" And he's like, I don't think they say what's the worst that can happen, but they basically said it. And then suddenly you see this gigantic ship, and you gotta believe it's Thanos. I can't imagine who else it would be. It's gonna be Thanos, right?
Well, I'm sure Thanos knows that the Tesseract was in Odin's vault.
Yeah.
And now Odin's people are escaping on a giant ship.
Yeah.
Where it's much more takeable.
Yeah. So
it's gotta
and we
be,
know the next time we're gonna see Thor is in Infinity Wars. So
probably Thanos'.
It's probably Thanos' ship. God, he's a tool, right?
Well, all he wants is his big death gauntlet.
Yeah, he's a tool. That's in canon. I'm just saying. So, besides that, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, the visuals are stunning. The visuals are very reminiscent of Jack Kirby's work, as well as Walter Simonson. Walt Simonson did so much to bring a lot of that to life, but like Kirby's aesthetic is all over this movie. And considering that this is his, I think, 100th year anniversary, like birthday this year, it's a hell of a way to show respect to it. I mean, we could also talk about the fact that Jack Kirby got screwed by the comic industry. So, the way to really respect his legacy is to pay your creators more fairly. But that's a totally different argument. And one that is way too long for this video. And besides that, the audio or all the soundtrack besides like a couple of specific songs were done by Mark Mothersbaugh, who people know from both Devo and the Rugrats. And it's really, really cool how the background music and the visuals meld together, because it just feels like technology is like in circuitry is like all over this movie. That's the only way I can describe it.
Look at this room, wet and right. Just pick a color.
Yeah. There's so many great, because like Thor's kind of a blockhead, and so a lot of his snappy lines are him just being like a big jock and a big kind of doofus. And there's a lot of really fun. That's the thing. Like Chris Hemsworth is really good at nailing
adorable doofus.
Like adorable doofus, and kind of a little too smug for his own good. And a lot of the back and forth he has with different characters works really well because he has a really good sense of timing. Besides that, I'm trying to think what else. Like I said, Tessa Thompson as like her first scene, because you see her and she's like, he's mine. And then you realize like in her slight movements that she's clearly really drunk, and then she falls off her ship. And it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. She also had a 40 she killed before she...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. You see her chugging this 40, and then she's like, that one's mine. And then she immediately, like, sways too much and falls off. And then she tries to get up and puts her hand through, like, a dead animal's carcass. And then she's like, all right, no, but seriously, I'm taking him. And then she still kicks ass. And then Thor's like, I thank you, dear lady. And then he gets zapped. I do appreciate the fact that him getting electrocuted by a woman is something that happens, like, consistently in these movies. It's the first thing that happens to him when he gets to Earth, besides getting hit by a car. He gets hit by a car, and then immediately gets electrocuted.
Thor passing out is a regular pastime of Thor.
It was a good movie. It was so visually stunning. There's a lot of, it's really fun to have, we get one really good scene with the hammer, because we knew that's going away. So then when it goes away, we at least got like that last bit, and then it's the rest of the movie is like Thor having to deal with the fact that he doesn't have that like huge crutch that he had before, which is really interesting then, you know? Besides that, like, there are really fun moments, like...
They also made, like, towards the end, they knew what the visual of Thor without his hammer was going to be, and they crafted that really well in the movie. Yeah.
Besides that, I mean, like, I'm gonna keep going back to Tessa Thompson, because she gets to have some really fun scenes in this movie. Her scene, and you see it in one of the trailers, where she's walking in her Valkyrie costume for the first time since like her downfall. And it is some really stunning, fun. Like, I was grinning like a fool when that happened, because it feels so triumphant and so like this character in her element. And again, it was just kind of nice to see a female character with an arc. And also, I don't know if we mentioned this, but... I think I got on a rant, and then I forgot to bring it back. But, you know, when I first heard the news that Tessa Thompson was going to be Valkyrie, they mentioned that she was going to be the new love interest, which bothered me, not just because I like Jane, but also because it's like, oh, there's another... Like, every single new female character ends up just being a love interest in these things. And because it was kind of the same thing that happened with Gamora, and it bugged me, you know, especially because like she's like the main female character of the good guys, and you know, and they're immediately pairing her up. And besides like a couple of small moments where they kind of have like some like vague chemistry, for the most part though, she's not set up as a love interest. So if they do something with them later, then it won't feel like this was always the way they were going to go with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's way more like an ally and a warrior side by side. And her arc again has nothing to do with any kind of romance with Thor. It's all about her finding herself again after rejecting her history and trying to forget about a really tragic thing that happened to her. So for me, I just there were so many things I liked about her in the movie, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her in more movies. I think she's 100% the breakout here, and I hope that that everybody loves the character as much as I do, because it just makes me really happy.
Well, I mean, besides the rock band Thorg.
Yes, and then no, Thorg. Wait, I don't think that was Korg. I thought
Korg. Whatever.
Let me double check. I gotta find it. It's a very large cast, so I really need to Let's see. Sorry. You say stuff while I look for it.
So they cut out Jane, but and
I mean, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen. They also cut out Sif,
which we said already. Yeah,
we said already, and they were going to. You were talking about what you wanted to be for the ending credits scene.
Yeah.
So let's get into that in a moment here, and I will pull up
All right,
our
fine.
new Rockman.
So there was something that I wanted. I didn't think it was going to happen. Korg, that was it. Apologies, everybody. Korg. Yeah, that was really charming. I hope that they have him show up in other movies too, because that was fun.
Heimdall was great too.
Yeah, Heimdall was really good. Idris Elba. I'm happy that of all the characters from the first movie, I'm really glad that they gave him lots and lots to do and have him be have his own mini movie on the side.
Yeah, he's just there saving Asgard,
keeping things stable.
He's hiding everybody out.
Yeah,
he knows where to go, what to do.
So anyway, I had a thing that I wanted to happen. And I knew going into this, because it's been out for a couple days now. The movie has, fully. And even before that came out, I figured I would have found out a spoiler if it had happened. Or at least people alluding to it when they're talking vaguely about this movie. So I was pretty sure it wasn't going to happen, but like the fool that I am, I held out hope that one of the ending credits would be Thor's hammer, possibly on the moon, but basically anywhere on Earth, reforming, because it had been destroyed at the end of the first act of the movie, but reforming, and then where it says, if he be worthy, it changes it to, if she be worthy, and then we get Jane Thor. Implied. And I was hoping against hope, because they set up Thor losing his hammer, that would be
where we
were going. It didn't happen. And again, it was one of those things I was pretty sure wasn't going to happen, but I wanted it to. And it would have made the movie over the top wonderful for me. I still love it a lot, and it's still one of my it's now officially one of my favorite Marvel movies, up there with Winter Soldier, right up there.
This movie is just a Technicolor dream.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I feel like I'm gonna think other things about it in terms of especially Hela's storyline, and what it was trying to do. And I'm sure other people will find other ways to analyze it in terms of what they were doing for the larger story of Thor as a character. But I largely just thought that so much of it was very fun. So much of it focused on characters and character dynamics. And I felt like I think other people said it too, was it never punched down in the joking. You know what I mean? It never made me feel cringy in the way that some of the Guardians jokes do. And I really, really hope that that this creative team comes back to do more things with the Marvel
Verse.
verse. And it was fun to see these characters again because I like them. That's all. I think that's all I got. Do you have anything else to say? Was there anything?
I would actually like to see this Tadawiki, right?
You did not get even close. This is sad.
I would like to see this director actually do Guardians. That's who I want to do Guardians 3.
That would be really good.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be James Gunn again.
Yeah, it probably is.
But I would love to see his version of the Guardians because he seems like the right vision I would want in a Guardians movie. But it just... because this movie, it still feels like kind of like a Guardians movie because we're going from space to space to space to space.
Yeah.
And it's got this wild, crazy visual space outer thing that, that also incorporates, the Simonson designs and all that sort of fun stuff. That's comic book references and all that. But, they did it at such a, I would love to see them take on Guardians in that I want to see them take space and another space adventure.
Yeah.
And I think they did it really well here. And I would like to go out into other Marvel space areas where we could have fun.
Yep. I'm okay with that, yeah.
But I would like to see that.
So, for Marvel, coming up next, we have the movie that I was giggling at the trailer again. Black Panther's gonna rock. It's gonna be so good, you guys. I am so excited. I still remember, last year, this is a random story, but at my day job, we were doing a trivia contest with our department, and someone said, who is the richest... This was before Civil War happened, so it was, early 2016. And there was a question, who is the richest superhero? And they had the list, and someone was like, oh, probably, Tony Stark, or maybe Bruce Wayne. Was like, no. No, it's Black Panther. It's Black Panther. Are you sure? T'Challa. Yes, T'Challa. He owns a country. He is the king of his own country. I promise you, it's him. And by the way, we not only won that question, we won the trivia contest. I feel very proud about this. But I kept thinking, trust me, you will meet him soon. If you watch any of the Marvel movies, you're gonna meet him soon. And this movie looks incredible. Again, it's pulling from some, beautiful visuals. So stunning. I think after that is the Wasp and Ant-Man movie, which has the potential to be really good. I'm cautiously optimistic. We will see.
We get into Avengers.
And then Infinity Wars.
I don't know if it's Ant-Man first or Infinity War.
I think it's Ant-Man because they've been recording it earlier than this.
Okay.
I think so. And then I think after that is finally Captain Marvel.
And then we go back to an Avengers movie.
We go back to the Avengers movies. Anyway, we had a lot of fun with this. We're looking forward to doing more movies again now that the car is going to be back soon. I hope you guys like this. And
you want me to say my one worry about Black Panther right now?
What?
My one worry right now about Black Panther is that it's going to make the Iron Man 2 mistake and be too much about setting up where we are before the Avengers movie rather than being about...
I don't know.
Black Panther.
We'll see, but I'm anticipating the creative team really knocking it out of the park.
I know.
I think it's
going to be great.
I think it's going to be good.
My big worry in this lead up to an Avengers movie is that we're going to get a movie that is too much about setting up an Avengers movie than actually being about the character it's about.
We'll see. I think the fact that it's set specifically in a country that's very isolated from the rest of the world will actually help avoid that as much. Because then we should have the Ant-Man movie right after it, so that can set up Infinity War more than that. Anyway, I'm glad we're back. Hopefully we'll be able to do more movies coming up soon. Obviously, we have a big one in December that we are definitely seeing. We already have our tickets, and it was good to do this again.
The unfortunate part about already having our tickets is that we actually saw this movie on a bad projector.
I meant the tickets for Star Wars.
I know, But now we saw Thor on a bad projector at this AMC theater that kept going out, so we got free tickets for another movie.
We'll see that. Yeah, but those tickets last like a whole year. We'll see something there.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to spend. I'm probably thinking these tickets are going to be second showing of Star Wars.
Probably. Anyway, It was great seeing you guys, or like doing this again. I hope you had fun seeing us again, and we'll be doing more stuff coming up soon. So, Katie and Mike,
Hey, everybody.
JustPlayedSomething.com, and we'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.